I get it, dude. I do. I see why they did that. They're like, okay. This is really cool, by the way. Ooh, this is a really neat credit sequence. Because it's based on a storybook, because the game is like, oh, that's neat. Chat, I'm just gonna say it. I don't like the ending. I don't. I get what they were doing, like, oh, like, especially with that ending with the story, they wanted to be true to the story, like, oh, like, Lithia is obviously the queen, and the Mecha Knight, her guardian, Kunzite. It makes sense. Like, I get what they were doing, like, they were keeping to their fate and what they were meant to do. Like, Lithia kind of, like, always wanted to, like, not die, but, like, basically. Come on. And Kunzite, like, rest inside or whatever was going on there. But the skits and the game did so well at, like, oh, Lithia, like, Kunzite, first of all. They showed so well of Kunzite being like, oh, Kunzite wants to see more of life, and he's learning more about humans and the Organicas and stuff. So, I don't know. It was neat how Kunzite was just learning more about the world, and then at the end, they're just like, yeah, he has to fulfill his duty. I don't know. I see what they were doing, but I really just wanted him and Lithia to be with the party. To live, basically. And in Lithia, they also did super well with her relationship with Hisui, her relationship with Kohaku. Just in general, they did so much build-up to them, like, wanting to live in the world. And a comparison I can think of is probably, Tales of Arise. Shion, in the beginning of the game, she's a tsundere, and it's revealed that she wants to, she really, like, her thorns, like, don't allow her to get close to people, and she wants to live. And there's that one scene where she cries, and, like, she wants to really live and doesn't want to die. And I thought they were going to kill Shion off, and they didn't. She got married with Alphen and led a happy life. I really wanted Lithia and Kunzite to live. This kind of goes with me really liking happy endings, but I don't like the ending. I just really wanted Kunzite and Lithia to live. Other than that, the cutscene where they stopped Gardenia was really sick looking. That was really nice. Honestly, I just don't like the ending. This is probably, like, one of my least favorite Tales of endings. Mostly because, and that's kind of unfair to say, I just don't like, I just really want everyone to live in the end, especially the people that cared. Like, Creed and Flora, who cares? They weren't terrible characters, they were fine. Creed was an interesting antagonist. Creed was kind of on and off. But, them, like, okay, whatever, they want to calcify them. Lithia? Not Lithia, Flora, like, could not care less. Creed was kind of there, but Lithia, dude, I really like Lithia. Kunzite and Lithia are alive. Yeah, thanks, chat. Thanks, Captain Obvious. I just said that. I said they might as well be. They're not with the party. I don't care if they're alive. I said basically dead. They're not really dead, but basically dead. Oh, sleeping for eternity. Dude. They're not in the world. They don't really get to live. They're sleeping, and they might as well be dead. Oh, perfect example. Tales of Berseria. At the end of Tales of Berseria, spoilers, but I've been talking about it the whole playthrough. Tales of Berseria. Velvet doesn't get to live. Velvet, like, gets to seal off a Nominat and is basically sleeping for a long time. So is Saray at the end of Zestiria. They're not dead. They're sleeping. But do they get to live in the real world with all their friends? No, they don't. So to me, that's not a happy ending. They might as well be dead. So, and if you were listening, I said basically dead. I didn't say they were dead. But yeah, I don't like the ending. I just wanted Lithia and Kunzite to be on Organica with the rest of the group and live on and, like, you know. But yeah, Tales of Hearts, good game. I enjoyed the game. I'm gonna spend a little bit of time talking to the game. I'm gonna see if we get a cutscene here. That is a nice picture. That's a nice picture. I see what they were doing with the ending. They wanted to make it accurate to the legend, like, you know, the story. the story where it's like, oh, the princess is obviously Lithia, and then the Mecha Knight is Kunzite. I see what they were doing, but also, again, the game did well building them up to, like, want to live and not have to die, but also feeling like they have to, and they just, I don't know, I feel like it threw it all out the window. I did not see the cameos' names, no, and do not say them because you will be timed out. Mr. C really does look like a star from here. Yup, the same color as Lithia's hair. The credits showed the game if Velvet didn't become a Therian. Yeah, dude, I know. I played Berseria like 4+ times. That doesn't count. I don't care. Velvet in the canon is basically dead. It shows what if. She did become a Therian, so what ifs don't count. Those pictures are neat. I like the credits of Berseria, but that's not really answering, that's not solving my problem. I still think it's sad that Velvet basically dies. It doesn't matter if they show what if. Who cares if it's a what if? She was a Therian. And honestly, if they didn't make her a Therian, that would just rewrite so much of Berseria, so I wouldn't like that. It's neat that they show images of before she was a Therian, but like, that doesn't solve the problem. She's still sealing off a Nominat and basically dead. Yep, the same color as Lithia's hair. She will watch over us forever from her celestial resting place. Look, I get it. This is thematic. They want her to watch over Organica. But again, I stand by my position of wanting them to live and basically be with the party because of the build-up throughout the game with all the skits and everything. Also, I just really like Lithia, and Kunzite was pretty cool. You know, Hisui, you don't have to hold it anymore. Feel free to open up the floodgates. Who, me? What the hell for? That twinkling up there means Lithia's dreaming peacefully. So there ain't nothing to cry about. So I guess this is the end. Far from it. Hora's right, this isn't the end, not as long as there are Spirias to be brought together. There may not be an end, but there's gotta be a beginning, right? Errol's right, a bit of work is needed to kindle the bond between those first two Spirias. Poor Kohaku, are you too daft? We're talking about you. Yeah, I think we're pretty much on the same page already, no need to shout it out loud. Sometimes it's nice to shout things out loud. What is this, FF10? Come on, kid, don't back down. Please kiss. Well, Kohaku, this is the one thing they can, like, I'm still gonna hate what they did with Lithia and Kunzite. This is the one thing they can fix with the ending to make it, like, okay, like, at least good. Probably. I love... Oh my gosh, Core, your voice is so high right now. Hey, knock it off. This isn't easy for me, you know? So simple, yet so hard. Why am I reading this? I shouldn't be reading this. I should be letting this play. Alright, that redeemed the ending a little bit. I still really hate what they did with Fluora and, not Fluora. Why do I keep calling her Fluora? I hate what they did with Lithia and Kunzite, but... Hey, I'm gonna read this after. I have to talk about the game. Alright, ending, still one of my least favorite Tales of endings. I do love, again, I was hoping they would have some kind of sign of Kohaku and Core being together, and they did that. But I still don't like what they did with Lithia and Kunzite. You can argue with me all you want, like, oh, it's thematic, Nova. I get how thematic it is. Does that mean I have to like it? No, it does not. Something being thematic does not mean I'm totally down for it. When I'm playing a game, I want, like, you know, like, I want the characters to, mostly get happy endings. The characters that don't deserve it can get all the stuff they want, but the characters I like Lithia and Kunzite, deserve to live. But yeah, you can argue with me all you want, but the bottom line is I don't like what they did with Lithia and Kunzite. What they did with Kohaku and Core in that last scene, really nice. I will say, something else I would have liked it if Tales games normally have you see what every character is doing after the final battle. I would have liked it if this game had that. Tales of Arise didn't do that, but Tales of Arise did it in the credits. The credits of Tales of Arise showed that, so it was something. I would have liked it if this game did that, but it's not a huge deal. But hey, Tales of Hearts is done. I'm gonna talk about the game before I read this. This game is good. It's a high tier Tales game. It's not in my top 5, I don't think. I do really like the combat. The combat is a ton of fun. I love the way Chase Link works, and I love the way the arts work, and it's just really fun combat. Very much like Xillia, which I love Xillia's combat. Combat's fun. I really like, the music's kind of meh. There was not really any track that was like, yo, this is amazing. Tracks were good, but the overall soundtrack is like not one of the most memorable of the game, but it's okay. It gets its job done. I really like the characters of the game. I think my ranking of the characters would go something like this. I was thinking about this. I wanted to put Beryl at last place. I think I still am going to put Beryl last place. Beryl kind of grew on me as the game went on. She had neat stuff going on later in the game, but, you know, she was annoying for most of it. Beryl's definitely my least favorite. I think Gaul is my second least favorite, because Gaul just gets no focus at all. And it's really obvious that he was added to the Vita version, because he gets, like, no focus. They could have done what they did with Patty and gave him his own arc. So I think Gaul gets second least favorite, but Gaul's still cool. He's cool, but that's about all I can say. And they kind of wedged him with Ness's character arc, because, like, they had nowhere to put him. Fifth favorite, Core. Core was kind of dumb in the beginning, and I wasn't really like, Core was kind of like, oh, standard JRPG protagonist, but his relationship with Kohaku's neat, and at the end game where he tried to help Creed, but at the end game where he tried to help Creed was really, really nice. So nice. That was really cool. Core was like, okay, nothing like super outstanding, but some of the stuff he did later in the game and his relationship with Kohaku was nice. Number 4, who would be number 4? Probably Hisui? Oh, wait, no, there's 8, isn't there? So, yeah. 8 goes Beryl, 7 goes Gaul, 6 is Core, 5th is Hisui. Hisui was, kind of amusing throughout the game. It took a while for him to get going, but he was also good. 4th would probably be Kun. Probably a Ness, actually, for 4th. Because, again, they over-sexualized the Ness. But her story with Lapis and Strigov was really, really neat. And her feeling like she has to take care of Lapis and everything. And she was kind of amusing in the skits. Except when they talked about her, you know, bags of ice. Number 3, Kunze was also really cool. Really nice robotic character. I really hate what they did with him in the end. 2nd is Kohaku. Kohaku was amazing. Getting her emotions back was really cool, and her relationship with Core, and she was just really fun throughout the game. And Shaw was really cool. Definitely my favorite of the game. With the Empress and was really, really good, and just in general, the comrade scene. Shaw was really cool. Dude, I'm reviewing the game. Select clear game to get the post game. Yeah, dude, I know. I'm watching the screen. Yeah, I got it. I talk about games when I'm done with them. That's the most backseat thing I've ever seen in my life. Screw off. But yeah, characters were really, really good. I really like the chemistry. Some of the skits in the game were good. Again, some of the skits got a little out of hand with the whole, like, Ness's, big breasts and everything. It got really out of hand with that, but most of the skits in the game were good, and I really like the cast, the chemistry they had. They're not going to be my favorite cast of all time in Tales games, but they were definitely really fun. I definitely appreciated them, and the game was pretty funny at times. And then finally we get to the story. I think the first half of the story is really slow, but it does well for Kohaku's character. It does really well with getting her emotions back. It's kind of cool. And seeing the war between the Crystal Knights and the Empire was really neat. But it wasn't like anything special. But the second half was really cool when we got the Creed Graphite, Lithia, and then more of Gardenia. All of that stuff was really, really cool. It's not like the best story ever conceived, and it does get cliche sometimes. But it was a nice story. I enjoyed the story, especially in the second half. And Creed Graphite was an interesting antagonist. I don't think he's like one of my favorites, obviously, but he was fine. He was a good enough antagonist. He was an interesting, definitely one of the top ones. As for the other antagonists, like Inkaros was neat, but nothing really special. Clino and Chlorseraph, they all had their purpose, but nothing super outstanding with them. And, yeah. basically all I have to say with Tales of Hearts. Honestly, I don't know where this game would rank, but it was a really good game. I enjoyed it. I'm gonna see what the post game is about. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about the game for a bit. And that's basically it. I'll do the post game. I'm not promising I clear it, but we will see what goes on with the post game. Congratulations on clearing the game. You can now advance to New Game Plus after selecting Clear Data to save the game. This game will create a Clear Data save file. You can select Clear Data under the Continue option from the main menu. Start your journey in New Game Plus select. I will New Game Plus to platinum the game. But yeah, the game was overall really, really good. I enjoyed it. I'm glad I got a PS TV for this game. Very much. It was much worth it. I'm gonna save over. I'm gonna make a new slot. I'm assuming it just lets me load because there's post game. There we go. Tales of Hearts main story done. I'm gonna outro for people who don't want to watch the post game, people who are done watching the playthrough, because some people just want to watch the main story. But that's it. Character rankings again. 8th Beryl, 7th Gull, 6th Core. Of course 6th. 5th is Hisui, 4th is Ness, 3rd is Kunzite, 2nd is Kohaku, and 1st is Shawl. Really enjoyed the cast of the game. Honestly, this game doesn't really excel at anything except the Zerums. I did like the Zerum designs in the game. And some of the puzzles were neat. The game doesn't really excel at anything in the game, but the cast is really good. The story's good enough, kind of like Grace's. It's not amazing, but it's good enough. The combat's really fun, but I know other Tales games that are better. But like, who cares? This is part of my favorite franchise, so it's a really top tier Tales game. It doesn't need to excel at anything. So, you know, it does well with what it's given, and it does more of the same with Tales of. It has an interesting cast, a good story, and the combat is fun. What more can I ask for from a Tales game? But yeah, if you're not going to watch the post game, thanks for watching Tales of Hearts. I'll do Tales of the Abyss as the next Tales game, and yeah, that'll be it. But if you are going to stick around for post game, then I'll see you all then. But yeah, thank you all for watching. See you all next time.